Welcome back for another book review. Today we are talking about this one. So this is Grimoire Girl, creating an inheritance of magic and mischief. The way that title is set up on this page is like a hot mess to read because it's like you go across and then you go down and then down. Anyways, that is so not the point. So this is by Hilarie Burton Morgan. Apparently she might be like a celebrity or something. I don't actually know because some of the reviews were mentioning that and I'm like, I don't know who you are. So I just got it because like the last book, it was just there and you're like, okay. So this one, I mentioned this when I hauled this. I didn't really know what to anticipate with this. It's like, honestly, is it gonna even be like a fiction kind of a book? Don't know. So ended up being, this is a memoir with just little sprinkles of ideas for you to do, but mostly her story and specifically the feeling that you want to pass on to your children, the inheritance of your knowledge and such through her story. So I gave this one a 3 out of 5, mostly because like I know that like I just probably am not the target audience for this one, but also like I don't love this book. Like the message of it just didn't resonate with me. Like I get the idea of it and there are parts where I was like, yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, I agree. You know, like I love this idea of passing along things. Like that's why I have my ancestor binder. It's my, more politely called my ancestor book, but it's a binder. And that's where we have like all of the obituaries and stories that I'm working on collecting of our dead, so that when we have kids and we go to visit the graves every year, I could be like, this is who this person was, dude. Isn't it awesome? You didn't meet them, but they were cool. Like that's something I would love to be able to pass along to our children one day. And like, I love that idea, and this idea of like sentimentality and holding on to things, and like, you know, that items have value after, you know, the person's died and stuff like that. Like, sure, yeah. But also, like, it did have this weird, like, different economic status than my own situation at times. And you're like, okay. And that's when reading the other reviews where it was like kind of mentioned, like, I can't remember if they were a celebrity or if somebody else they knew, or like their parent or something. And it was like, that checks out. Cause her friend was like, her father or grandfather or something was like one of the like rich people. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know anyone like that. Like they have like a sprawling like manor and it's got like garden trails and like you need a tour of the place. And I'm like, I think I can give you a tour of my house in about 2 minutes or less. And that's if I explain all of the random things, like don't use that light switch because it's a 3-way that didn't actually work out because they thought they knew how to do electricity and they didn't. And like, don't use this light switch because the light bulbs overheat constantly within like 30 seconds and then it kicks it off, so don't do that. And like, you know, the little things of, you know, your house. But otherwise, like, it's a quick like, done. And the idea of like having a person like actually needing to tour the place for you, just different, you know? I'm really not sure what the like reader is supposed to get from this other than just to hear their story, which is fine. That's the point of a memoir. I kind of thought it was going to be more to it, and like I didn't really connect with her stories and what she was doing and her life and all of that. It wasn't really my thing at all, but doesn't mean it won't be for you. And I think that's kind of one of the big things is that like sometimes just because I don't like a book doesn't mean you won't like a book. And like, just go into this knowing that it's really not a witchcraft book. And that was actually one of the big things I noticed in the reviews, was that the target audience was not witches. So that was a fun twist of fate, because all of them were like, it's so weird and like witchy and like it's about witchcraft. And you're like, is that not how this was marketed? Because that, like, yo, grimoire, that's our word. I mean, it's a play on words for Gilmore Girls, but like, you know, that's what creating inheritance of magic and mischief, like that's easily one of our kind of titles. Like, why would you not anticipate that? That's weird. So like, nobody actually knew who this book was supposed to be for, apparently. Like, whoever was in charge of the marketing of this maybe should have done a little better of a job, because again, a lot of the reviews were like, what? Why is this so witchcraft? And as a witchcraft reader, I'm like, where is this is just like a sprinkle of it. So it was a really weird combo of the reviews. So just know that it's like, it's not really like a witchcraft book. Like, it's got a couple things at the end of each chapter, but like not really compared to the other books that we read. And like, it's also like more memoir, but apparently the memoir side of it feels more witchy than like your average memoir. So I don't know. I didn't know what I was getting into. That wasn't what I thought it was gonna be, but here we are. So anyways, if you're looking into like a weird memoir, definitely read the description of the book, because it's like about her life, and I don't even know how you would, it's just, if you want to read about some random person's life for like a little snippet of time, and their kind of obsession with like passing along things, then maybe this book is for you. Like, if you're really bored and wanting a story of a memoir, I mean, it's a fairly easy read. Like, some of them can be really, really long for a memoir, and this was just kind of weird. But like the voice of it was fine to read through, especially if you keep in mind that it's just a memoir, then you're good. But yeah, that, I guess, is who I would recommend it if you're ready for a memoir of some sorts with a little sprinkle of magic, maybe. So anyways, I would love to know your thoughts if you read this, if you have a better way to describe this book, in the comments down below. Huge thank you to my patrons. If you would like to support me and get access to exclusive content, such as extra book talks, my audiobooks, and of course, my own witchcraft studies and shenanigans. I also talk about my plans throughout the month and check in halfway through of how well did I do with those plans and how I need to readjust every month. Never fails, it has to be readjusted. That and so much more is over on my Patreon if you would like to check it out. It is always linked down below. And of course, huge thank you to those of you watching here on YouTube and to my readers. If you would like to, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave reviews of my books so other people can find them. And until next time, blessed be.